Alright, what's up everybody? Yo, we here. We in the crib. No, okay. Anyways, it's like 7 in the morning on day 30 of the challenge. So let's do our ignore my hair. Let's do our physique check and final physique check of the thing. Final weigh-in. And then I've got to shower and get ready for the day. But I'm gonna take you guys with me throughout the day. And then at the end of the video, we're gonna go through each of my checkpoints I did first weekend, halfway through, and then the final checkpoint throughout my journey. So let's go do that. Morning routine. I got my eyes on you. Alright everybody, morning routine is done. So we've got about 2 hours until I have to do this meeting. So I'm going to make sure I have everything in order for it. And then yeah, we've got a little bit of time to kill. So shameless plug, if you want to go on twitch.tv/realschmidt, link in the description. I might go live over there for a little while, talk to some people and play some games. So while I do that, let me take you to past Dustin at the beginning of the challenge. And I'll kind of explain what I'm doing, what each part of it is, and why I'm doing it. So we'll see you guys after the meeting. Alright, hello guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. As you saw in the intro there, I have done at this point, at the time of you watching this, I have done the 30-day challenge that I set for myself. It's pretty much a variation of 75 hard, which I actually did do along with a couple of my buddies 2 summers ago, which was really cool. It was one of the most pivotal points in my life, I think, in terms of like career and just self growth. Back then, I was a server at a country club. I was getting ready to move into a newer college with a lot more competition for my sport, and I wanted to do something to kind of elevate my level as high as I could. I'm kind of at that point again, only this time it's a little bit different. I am no longer in school, obviously no longer in a sport as well. Because of that, I've been a little bit lax on, workouts and eating and stuff, and because of that, I felt a little bit of a decline, health-wise. I mean, as you can see looking at me, I am a big dude, right? I've been a big dude my whole life. I was recruited for football in high school. I ended up sticking with track because track is what I like to do. Did that all the way through college until, now I'm not in school. So now here I am. I'm going to try with this challenge. One of my biggest goals is just to try a strict harsh cut because I'd never really tried that before. So, normally my daily input of calories, the range was supposed to be, 3,000 to 3,300, somewhere in there. For this cut, I'm dropping it all the way down to 2,200, and that's already low. That 3,000 was supposed to be, a deficit of about 1,000 calories anyways. If your Fitbit is right, there are days that it says I burn 5,000 calories. Most days I burn about 3,800 to 44. Now, bringing this activity level back up, that's one of the other main goals. So I'm going to be harsh cutting with the calories. Obviously, I'm going to be focusing on getting that protein in. Pretty much chicken and rice is going to be the main diet, as you'll see, or maybe as you have seen if you've watched some of the TikToks or the shorts or the Instagram updates or anything like that. Chicken and rice is pretty much going to be the staple for the entire journey. And then with the eating, I'm going to be increasing my activity. So that's the 2 45-minute workouts a day. Now, normally, if you're familiar with 75 hard, one workout is outside, one workout is inside. Because I'm doing this in the middle of January, we're in one of the coldest times that we've had in a while here, where I live, and it's been in the negatives though the entire time. So I'm not sure how effective a workout in that temperature will be in terms of injury or illness. Basically, I don't want to do it if I think I'm just going to be tight and I'm going to end up pulling something and it's going to hamper my progress moving forward. I'll see that some of you guys will say, well, it is more mental challenging for you if you have to endure the cold, which is why I am going to go outside as soon as I can, as long as I know that I'm going to stay warm enough to make it worthwhile. especially on a day that I'm just stretching for my secondary workout, then I'm not going to want to be outside for that, if that makes sense. So those are the kind of the main things, and I'm going to pick up my list here, and I'll just kind of go through one by one each of the things that I wanted to do for the challenge and kind of why I wanted to do them. And then once I finish this challenge, because this is pre-challenge, I'm going to come back and then I'm just going to talk about how each one of them made me feel, what I think they did for me. So I kind of have like a prediction and then like what they actually did for me. So let me pull that up. Okay, so daily progress picture, that's pretty like straightforward. You take a picture every single day and then you can look back, slide through them and see how your body was changing while you did this. So I'm going to be doing that every day. I'm going to be staying sober every day. Obviously, drinking alcohol, I mean, it's not great for your mental health if you're doing it often. If you're doing it really often, you might need to see somebody for help. But it's also just empty calories, empty carbs, stuff like that. So that's one of the things I'm going to do just to avoid it. We've got the 2 45-minute workouts that I explained, consuming under 2,200 calories. Obviously, that means I'm not doing any soda, no sugary drinks. I don't want to be drinking my calories here. The goal of this is just only calories that I need to use. I'm going to be praying before bed, and I'm going to be praying in the morning every day. That's just more of a personal goal for me. I'd love to have a platform and be able to use it one day to help spread positivity and spread the word of God, but I'm not going to be pushing that on anybody watching this video. However, if you want to ask me questions about that, if you want to talk about it at any time, you can DM me, leave a comment. But mainly I just want to grow closer to God, and I want to continue to further my relationship in that area as well. So along with that, I am going to be including reading the Bible as part of my daily routine. It's either the Bible, a leadership book, or a sales book, some kind of book that I want to use to better myself. I'm going to be reading and or listening to an audiobook version of that every single day. And then on the other side, I'm going to be reading a book that's just for fun, just to keep my reading engaged, vocabulary, mental, things like that. So I am rereading Percy Jackson. So for all you Percy Jackson lovers out there, I'm rereading that series. So I'll be doing that every day as well, just to make sure that I am actually reading words on a page if I do audiobook the other one. The rest of it is it's more sleeping based. So instead of having a set wake up time and a set sleep time, due to my schedule, I'm just going to make sure I sleep at least 6 to 8 hours every single day. And that before I sleep, I give myself 2 hours before bed that I'm just away from screens, I'm off of social media, things like that. Let my brain wind down and let my body actually be prepared for sleep. So I will do that. As of right now, it is January 16th, 2024. The challenge starts when I wake up January 17th tomorrow. So I will come back with an update. For this video, I might just do an update maybe every 7 days, like every week. So it'll be a couple of updates here and there. Then I do the comparison at the end. I'll see you guys in a few days. Alrighty guys, it is present day Dustin at the end of the 30-day challenge, back with you again. So as you heard from past me, which I'm now more clean shaven me, except for mustache, maybe a little bit skinnier in the face. But as you heard from past me, we did pretty much everything exactly the way I described that we would, except for we didn't do video check-ins every few days. Instead, I used the journaling that I was doing every day. And at the end of the first week, at the halfway point, and then today, I'm going to be doing extensive check-ins through my journal, explaining how I feel in different categories of my life, and just how I feel about the challenge so far in general. So, we will see you in a few minutes, or so. Yeah. Alright, so this is for meal number 1. We've got the pre-sliced Cajun turkey breast. We're going to have half a pound of that. We got some 2% deli slices. We got that light mayonnaise. We got that mustard. We got the turkey pepperoni. And we got the keto culture hamburger bun. So these buns are kind of fire. They're like 50 calories and 5 protein. The Other buns I usually get, the Sam's Choice ones, were not at the store, but those are like 50 calories and 6 protein, so those are even better. But for buns, that's pretty good, and it's really low calorie, so I like it. I will make the sandwich, and then I'll tell you guys what the macros and everything is for it. So. Dum dum da da dum dum da da dum. All right, meal number 1 has been consumed. So let's head to the gym, and we're doing chest day today. But first, it's a little bit chilly out there, so I'm gonna need a jacket. Ta-da! Okay, sorry. Oh, good. It's, yep. Arrived at the gym. We are here. There's like nobody here, so that's kind of cool. But we're gonna head downstairs, do our chest day, and I will catch up with you guys afterwards. Okay guys, I am hungry, so I'm gonna make a little snacky snack. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm meeting with one of my recruits at like 5, so I'll eat a snack now, do that. We're gonna be walking around outside. I'm just gonna do cardio walking for workout number 2, just to get the calorie burn in. And yes, well, sorry, camera got lowered. But we're doing that. We're gonna make this snack. I'm gonna show you what the snack is, and then we're gonna go do the meeting, and then we got one more meeting at 8 o'clock, and that's pretty much my day. So yeah, I mean, we started this morning with a prayer. We did the progress picture, all that stuff like we needed to do for the challenge. And then towards the end, at the last 2 hours of the day, that's when we do our journaling, we do our reading, and we do anything else we might need to do for going to bed. So let's do that. I'll see you guys when the snack is made, and I'll show you what I made. All right, guys, this right here, we got pepperoni and cheese roll up, and we got PB&J roll up, and we got outside. Alrighty guys, we are heading out to do our workout number 2. We're just gonna walk around for a while. I've got a recruit here in town, and we're gonna do some training and walk around for a while. So just gonna get some steps in, get the miles up, and the calories burning. So yeah, after that, we'll come home. I need to figure out what I'm doing for an actual dinner, and then we've just got our nightly routine, and we are done for the 30 days. So let's get it. Alrighty guys, I just got back from my walk. We are going to make some of these here chicken thighs for dinner, and then I have got a meeting later tonight, and then yeah, we've pretty much only got to do our journaling and reading and everything, and we will end our final day of the challenge. Here's Tristan. I did want to say I was listening to Grit as my audiobook. I listened to that while I was lifting today, and then while I was walking as well. So we will see you guys during the final part with the journaling and reading my book. So there's light behind me. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired after today. So pretty much completed day 30. I'm gonna eat this chicken and rice here. It's about 900 calories, and it's gonna complete my day. We're just under 1900 calories on the day. If I feel like it later, I'll probably eat some Halo Top ice cream that I've got in the freezer. If I eat the whole thing, it's another 300 calories, but I don't eat that much ice cream at one time. So, yeah, we've just got our journaling to do now for the night, and I am reading this, and Tristan just walked in again. Hello. Yeah, you can have a piece of chicken if you want. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been the end of the journey. Now we're going to go into let's do the final physique checks and progress picture checks. So, there we go. All right, guys, so here we are. This is the before and after photos here. As you can see, we started out this challenge at 360.4 pounds. And that was the image of me on day 1. And we are ending it off at 342.00 pounds exactly. With our lightest weight we were ever at being 341.1. So that was a pretty successful challenge. You'll notice here in the differences in the pictures, I notice a big change up around the shoulder section, a lot more definition up there, and then my stomach does look a bit tighter towards the end of the challenge. So for a 30-day span, I feel like that's a pretty big improvement there. All right, so here's our very first physique check at the beginning of the challenge. It was taken vertically, and I forgot to take a horizontal version for this video, but that is what we were looking like day 1 of the challenge. There's a little bicep flex for you. Yeah, lat spread from the front instead of from the back for whatever reason. And then here we are, day 30, doing our next physique check. I do think I see more definition, definitely in the shoulders, as I mentioned, and more definition in the biceps as well there. The front lat right there. Again, I think I just look a little bit leaner in the stomach. I can see more of the back during the lat spread, especially on the side view. I think I can see a little bit of progress there. The back lat spread here, which we didn't get one at the beginning, but I mean, that was pretty solid. And yeah, we're going to include the legs at the end because for some reason I forgot to do that day 1. But, you know, legs looking fire. So overall, I am pretty happy with progress that we've seen. Nothing too drastic. It was only 30 days, so you're not going to see like completely crazy results. But the reason I wanted to do this challenge in the first place was to get a big jump start on just everything else in my life. You know, working out, reading, whatever it is. So I can continue to move forward with these habits moving on into the rest of my life. Which I've been doing. I am now currently in the editing phase of this. We're about 1 week post-challenge. I did let myself have a cheat day, and we've been going strong ever since, and I'm feeling good. A little bit of a sneak peek, I did finally break under the 340, so we've officially lost over 20 pounds, just not during the challenge. But I'm going to set the phone up here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through my journal entries and show you what was going on through my head through week 1, halfway through the challenge, and then again at the end there for you. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right, guys, so here we are with the notebook that I used throughout the journey. So for each day that I did a big check-in, as you can see, I did a journal every day. But for day 7, day 15, and day 30, I did a big check-in that I knew I was going to come back to and explain to you guys. So I wanted to go through on 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 5 different categories in my life that I wanted to improve on over this challenge. So we've got the energy levels, the hunger levels going through the challenge, the sleep levels, mental health, however I'm feeling with my mind, and spiritual as well. So for day 7, this is just 1 week into the challenge. My energy, to sum up everything I said, pretty much I had a lot of energy. I didn't know why I had a lot of energy coming in on day 7, but I just knew that I felt good and felt good throughout the day. At that point, we were at 356, which means we had just lost 4 pounds in the challenge. My hunger levels, I have not had huge issues with hunger, surprisingly. Mainly because I thought I had just been good at keeping busy. So when you're busy doing stuff, you don't feel like you're hungry as often. And then I also just thought that I told myself kind of like, it's time, don't complain. You know you're going to do this challenge whether you like it or not. And I think, low-key, I think my stomach just kind of responded to that, just to me telling myself that. I did notice, however, as I was preparing a meal or as I began to eat, it took over and I just felt super, super hungry. That my body knew it was time, and it was time to eat when it was time to eat. But after each meal, I did feel satisfied. I didn't have a huge issue when it came to hunger, which was surprising to me being so early in the challenge. Sleep-wise, I said my sleep has been pretty great in terms of hours. I'm feeling good when I wake up, but I do think I've noticed a huge difference in how I fall asleep, like how fast I fall asleep. Mainly just because I think the 2 hours of winding my brain down has not only like lessened the blue light that I was getting, but it kept my mind active, and I also wrote that journaling has helped empty my mind before bed, which left me with a lot less thoughts to think about as I'm trying to sleep. Mental health wise, I did make a note that irritability was something I seemed to notice a little bit of a struggle in. It was nothing terrible that I couldn't control, but I was noticing how there was a few things that happened throughout my daily life that did have more of an impact on me than it should have or it would have in the past. And I think most of that is just a credit to the change in my lifestyle and my body still, getting used to the lack of calories and everything else going on. I had also worked a lot, and I was really annoyed the night that I was more irritable, and it was just outside factors that had nothing to do with the challenge. I did write, I haven't had any trouble focusing when I need to. I haven't had headaches, and I haven't seen any differences in performances in my job or anything like that. I did have an hour towards the beginning. You guys have probably seen John Cena in the background over here, but I did have an hour one of the days where I just got home from my workout and I literally just sat like this and just stared at the wall and just let my brain shut down. So it's kind of like a nap, but I didn't sleep. So there was that when it came to mental. And then spiritually, I said praying to start and end the day has made me feel more connected to God. It's always given me more opportunity. It's also given me more opportunity to put my struggles on Him and ask Him for strength. I feel like that's been a big factor in why I am doing good with this challenge, and I find myself praying thankfully more often as well. So yeah, I just found that the beginning of the challenge is probably the hardest part, trying to get used to everything that's changing. And I think praying to God and everything helped me with that. He helped me, give me strength, and helped give me courage and guts to just get through it. And then I did find myself, just because I forced myself to start and end the day with a prayer, I found myself praying more thankfully as well, rather than just coming to God with something I needed help with or I wanted something or anything like that. So that was day 7 check-in. So we didn't do another check-in until day 15, which was the halfway point in the challenge. So day 15, I put in all caps, we're halfway done. And then, of course, I did my check-ins for energy, hunger, sleep, and all of that. So for energy, I wrote, energy has been really good, consistently high, but it definitely falls when I'm hungry, which, is normal. And I get tired normally and don't typically feel super drained. So pretty much I was saying my energy levels felt pretty good coming into the halfway point of the challenge. I didn't feel like I was being dreary or trudging around or anything like that. Food-wise, I said it's easier and easier to pretty much just keep eating low calories and having energy while doing it. But I said there are tons of cravings and foods that I feel like I can't, or that I know that I can't eat. Mostly, at this point, I'm not a huge sweets guy. If I'm gonna have a vice when it comes to food, it's usually breads of some kind. But I was craving ice cream so bad for whatever reason in the halfway point of this challenge, and like to the point where I ended up getting Halo Top at some point, because it is lower calorie. You can eat ice cream, but I even went extremely out of my way to save calories, and I let myself have a vanilla cone at McDonald's for one day of the challenge, and it was, I mean, I think a vanilla cone was 200 calories, so in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, but when you're limiting yourself as much as I was, it was still a sacrifice to be able to have it. But it was good, and it also helped, you know, keep me motivated for the challenge. So sleep-wise, I said my sleep had started to get a little weird, just because of timing and my sleep schedule. With work the way that I do, I'm a server at a restaurant, so if I close, I'm up a lot later than I normally am. Plus, I'm doing my 2 hours of no streams, so when I got home, my 2 hours would start, and so my bedtime was always 2 hours later than when I got off work or whatever. So that was weird in terms of sleep schedule, but my sleep quality was good, and I said I can easily make it through a day without needing or wanting a nap, even with the 2 workouts and everything else going on. Yeah, there have been nights that I stayed up a lot later than I thought I would because of my reading, but I never had a night where I didn't have an opportunity for 6 to 8 hours of sleep, which was one of the goals that I had. So spiritually, I said I can tell that God is with me throughout the whole challenge, and the habit of praying has been more developed, has developed nicely coming into the halfway point, which, I mean, that's something I still do too. It's almost at the point where it felt wrong to not pray in the morning or at night. Like, it just felt off, and I'm like if I would have forgot for a couple of minutes or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this. That's kind of where I was at. Mentally, I said I haven't noticed a decline mentally due to anything that I've been doing in the challenge. If anything, I just feel more confident, and maybe I've actually been a little bit sharper sometimes in my mind. So that was my check-in for day 15. That was the halfway point. You can tell that was a lot less detailed because I was getting into the scheme of things and probably wanted to read really bad that day. So day 30, this was the very last day of the challenge. This one I have the most notes on, so we're going to go through all this. But before I get to day 30, I just want to say a big thank you. If you've made it this far in the video, I know it's a longer video. This whole challenge has been really, really cool for me, and it's just been, like I said, a great launching pad, which was the point. You know, at this point when I'm reading this and getting the video edited, it has been a week or maybe even longer by the time this video gets posted, past the challenge, and I still feel good. I'm still making progress, and it's just, yeah, it's been cool. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to any of you guys that saw the TikToks or saw anything on Instagram. If you were following me along, sending me encouraging messages, I appreciate you all, and I want to keep making videos and doing other types of challenges, so tell your friends, tell everybody, come like, subscribe. I'd love to have a social media presence. So that's my little shameless plug for the video, but let's get into day 30 and the reveal of how I felt at the end of the challenge here. All right, so energy level. I said my energy has been relatively good throughout the entire challenge, especially the last half of the challenge. In fact, on most days I feel great, especially when I get good sleep. However, I have had a few restless nights here and there, and I think it's because I waited too long to eat my last meal. So that's true. There were a couple of nights, I think there were only 2 nights that I really struggled to fall asleep. And even after my reading and everything, I would still toss and turn for a while. And I think it was just that I was eating my dinners really late, and they were pretty high protein, so I think my body was digesting it, and just causing me a little bit of uneasy rest. So I had that a couple of times, but in general, my sleep was pretty good. I would say that in general, my energy has no negative dips due to the calorie intake at this point. I obviously do get tired at the end of the day, especially when I've had a long day. If my workouts were a little bit harder, maybe work was a lot busier. But that is normal, and it's actually a good feeling to have because you don't want to make it to the end of the day and not really feel tired. So hunger wise, I said my hunger is a little weird. I never get to the point where I have no more calories and I feel starving, but I do feel like I could eat at almost any point. So yeah, it was at the point where I was just like going through a day, and if anybody had offered me food, I could eat, But it wasn't that I was hungry all day long. It was just that I was always at a point where I could eat food. I just knew because of everything that I was doing and everything that I was tracking that it wasn't time for me to eat yet, and I was going to have a meal later, and that was fine. I didn't have any issues, but I just had taken a special note that like I was never full. I never felt like stuffed. Oh, I can't eat anymore, except for like right after a meal maybe. Yeah, and I said, I just never had a feeling like I was overeating. I never had like the pain in your stomach where you just shoved it full of food or anything. So yeah, that's pretty much, my macros were really good. Halfway through, a little bit past halfway through, I really did more research on macros and fully enveloped it into everything I was eating, which I was already doing a good job on, but low fat, a little bit higher carb if I need energy, and moderate protein for the calorie intake. I think I averaged probably like 180 to 190 grams of protein each day, which was pretty solid. So sleep-wise, I said I already mentioned this earlier, so I'll be quick, but my sleep has been good. I'd say probably 85 or 90% of the time. There's been a few restless nights that I just talked to you guys about earlier. But no screens have definitely been helpful, not even just for the lack of blue light, but also for forcing me to do something more productive and healthy when it's about time for bed. It's I don't know why, but for me at least, when I'm doing something that I can feel good about, like I'm not wasting time right before bed, I sleep easier. Like I don't have as much like guilt for not being productive, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had for my sleep. I said mentally, I felt pretty sharp the last few weeks. My head has felt clear, although I have felt a few depressive moments. I am able to come out of them relatively quickly. I remember towards midpoint of the challenge when my weight was plateaued for a few days, it got hard mentally. Sorry, I have terrible handwriting, just so you know. I said, but having all of my tasks predetermined and my mental anchors set that I knew I was going to get this done during the day. I had to get this done to do the challenge, right? I had to get this, and checked off. All of that helped me avoid letting it spiral. So every time I go lift, if I'm not feeling good before, I feel pretty good, at least mentally after. And having the challenge forcing me to do everything, no matter how I felt, made it so that the start of maybe a little bit of a depressive episode didn't spiral down into something worse. I was actually able to come out of it quite quickly. And that was something that I actually made a connection. I said, I believe I could use that for other aspects of my life, especially sales. We talk about mental anchors a lot when we are discussing ways to become more efficient and be the best version of yourself while you're out there. And I think having something similar to how I did it for the 30-day challenge for me to do every single day will make it so that no matter what, I know I'm doing these productive things that lead to something better. So I think that was really cool. That was one of the bigger insights I had during the challenge. Spiritually, I said I have not felt bad throughout this challenge. I pray each morning and night and ask for strength, wisdom, and good recovery. So a big thing for me was needing to combat the soreness and just everything that happens from working out so much, which is why I had 2 days out of my week were for stretching and just recovery. So a big thing for that was I wanted to pray for recovery. And then, of course, along with thanking God for everything He does and has done, especially Jesus Christ and the forgiveness of sins, I said, I have noticed at night that I can feel my body relax after praying. Like my whole body is just letting go. As soon as I finish that prayer before I want to go to sleep, it's like a weight is released off my shoulders and I'm able to just fully relax. And I know a lot of the credit of that goes to God for me completing this challenge in general. So I did say, so do I feel closer to God after these 30 days? I said, honestly, I do feel like there could have been more that I could do to work on it, but I have felt closer thus far. It has been easy to get caught up in life throughout the middle of the day, and I think that's where I could come to God maybe a little bit more, which was true. I would get caught up in making sure I had all the stuff for the challenge done, I had all the stuff for work done, whatever I needed to do throughout the day. And I think all of us can probably have that happen to them in life. And so that's an area that I think I could work on a little bit more, even moving forward, is just coming to Him in the middle of the craziness as well, not just before and after. So I did a little summary at the end. I said, this has been a good 30 days, and I feel the most optimistic that I have ever felt about losing weight. I said, I do worry about gaining it back quickly if I am ever not super strict, which is a little annoying, but I'm going to cross that bridge when I come to it. And as I've seen happen now, there is a study that has said that you do need to eat not always in your strict calorie deficit. You need to have at least one cheat day here and there because that's going to spike your metabolism and keep it going for you. So I did notice that after I had a cheat day recently, I've dropped weight a couple of days later after plateauing for like 4 or 5 days. So that is pretty good, and I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping everything regulated, but I'm not going to completely not allow myself to enjoy food, you know? And that's really the whole goal. It's really more of a lifestyle more than it is a challenge, and maybe that's what the purpose of doing this really was. So that was my check-in for the 30 days, and that's pretty much all I have left for the video. So if you guys liked it, if you guys have anything you want to say, please come down to the comments. Follow me on my socials. I want to do more challenges, and I want to be able to post more and do more for social media. One thing I'm looking forward to is after this upcoming summer of sales, I hope to make a good amount of money, which will help me to have more time to put into stuff like this. So if you guys want to see me post more videos, if you guys have video ideas for me, let me know. Tell your friends and family, because as soon as I can start making an income from social media as well, I can put a lot more time into it. So thank you all for your time, for watching the video. I hope maybe this even inspired some of you guys to go do a challenge, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All the socials are in the description. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next one.